Hey there, people. Well, it's about that time. I'm putting the Enlightenment series on hold because I promised to do this, so here we go. It's the Hall of Shame. Now, before I start this, let's just get this out the way. I'm not going to be putting down every single last asshole that decided to make fools of themselves on my channel. I mean, I know, and I said this before, that there were a lot of unique characters that have shown up on the channel ever since I started making videos on YouTube and felt that they just had to present their views in a very special way. Short yellow bus special, if you know what I mean. But I'm not going to be listing every single last one of them because then this will take more than 10 minutes to list these people. So it's only going to be the ones who really went out of their way to be stupid. Also, and I have to state this now, I'm only going to be mentioning the people who are acting like fools on my channel towards me. Okay, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I know there are plenty of idiots making infamous names for themselves elsewhere on YouTube, and if I was going to list all the idiots I know of, once again this would take more than 10 minutes. And I'm also mentioning this because, as I'm sure some of you might know, there's been recently some really heinous shit that has happened concerning two particular fairly well-known people on YouTube. And I could easily mention one of any of them, but I am not. I'm staying the hell out of that because it's got nothing to do with me. While I agree what's happened is fucked up, that's as far as I'm going to go because it's got nothing to do with me. I tend to keep to myself, and I like to stay out of trouble. So, with that said, I think it's about time I get on with this. Now, like I said, I don't want to mention everyone because I was going to mention all the fools who showed up on my channel. This will take too long. I think I've blocked at least 21 names by now, maybe more. Many of those names no longer exist on YouTube, either because they were stock accounts that some coward decided to delete before I could find them, but most of them are actually channels that were closed by YouTube. So apparently they pissed off more than just me. I'm not going to mention the little miscreants and the little random racists that show up or just the plain old fools. I'm just going to mention 4 names. 3 of them are related, 1 of them is separate, kind of stupid. Let's get this going. Wolfrodda, W-O-L-F-R-O-D-D-A. You guys might not know who he is. He's very small time, and to be quite honest, he didn't really do anything too heinous, but what he did was so stupid he deserves a mention in the Hall of Shame. My Hall of Shame, anyway. Some of you guys who are used to, who've been checking out my channel for a while will remember that I put up a video which I just showed how America really wasn't founded on Christian values, even though a lot of rednecks would like to say otherwise. And of course I presented facts and from history and all that type of stuff, and one person agreed with me, but he was wondering if he was arguing with somebody for, arguing how it wasn't founded by Christian values, how would he deal with the whole under God argument? Because I'm sure you know many Christians will bring up the whole in God we trust or the under God phrase in the Pledge of Allegiance as quote-unquote proof. So I showed him that if he looks at history, those phrases were fairly recent in history. The Pledge of Allegiance didn't get nationalized until the 50s, and the phrase in God we trust only became a motto because the Supreme Court ruled that it didn't have much religious meaning anymore. Now this was the Supreme Court ruling and not me. I showed him the dates when this happened, and I also showed him that these phrases didn't appear in the beginning of our history. Now this is when Wolfrodda shows up under the comment section and tries to say that, oh, I'm wrong about that. Though what's also interesting is that he didn't even know what the hell he was arguing because he was trying to argue how the Pledge of Allegiance, had these phrases in the beginning, but he used the wrong phrase for it. So I pointed out to him his errors, and I also pointed out to him that the Pledge of Allegiance never had the phrase in God we trust in it, and that he was confusing it with the phrase under God, which was added to the Pledge of Allegiance in 1954. This is all verifiable. You can easily look this up in history. Now, he chose not to comment further under my video, but he responded to me in PM, private message. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. What was wrong was what he stated. He quoted me from the comment section how I told him how the Pledge of Allegiance never had that phrase in it, and then said that I totally contradicted myself by stating that, stated that it was maybe my views that were radical and not everyone else's, and that the history books would back him up, and that I poison America with my misinformation. Yeah. Now, never mind the fact that I never even contradicted myself at all. If you listen to my video and then look at the comments I stated, everything I say is in accord. Nothing I say contradicts myself at all. What's worse, if you look up the history books, you'll find that I'm fucking right. He's the one completely off. So, and then that whole Poison America thing just was like, I hate idiots like that who, if they can't win an argument, then they throw insults. So I decided I was going to PM him back in response. Only to find out that I was blocked. So now let me get this straight. Okay, fine. You PM me so that you don't end up looking like an idiot in front of everyone else. You're just going to look like an idiot in front of me. Okay, fine. But then out of complete cowardice of how I was going to respond to you, you block me before I can correct your ass? That's not only a dick move, that's incredibly stupid. And that earns you a Hall of Shame mark. You earn a Hall of Shame. Not just for being incredibly stupid and not knowing your own fucking history, but just pulling off a dumb move like that. Now, for the infamous three who are all related. Dr. Steelhammer, Muning 444, and Little Lulu 96. These guys really take the cake. Apparently, these guys have a man crush on some European boxer named Plasenko. Fine, you know, but apparently because he happened to have been knocking out black guys, which, hey, if you're in a boxing ring trying to win a championship, you're going to knock people out. But just because he was knocking black people out, they felt that they were going to spam just about any black person they can find and talk about how he's kicking black people's asses and how it proves that white people are superior and all this other bullshit. Now, the first time they did this on my channel, I was like, where the hell did this come from? I don't visit the boxing circles on YouTube. I don't really talk about boxing on my channel. What the fuck? So I blocked them and I don't think much of it. But then, several months later, apparently maybe Plasenko had another fucking boxing match. They came back and started spamming my channel again. They caught me at a bad time too, because there was a lot of heinous shit going on in my house, and I was just like, fuck this shit. So I not only blocked them and banned them, but then I put out a video basically calling them out, and not only that, but letting everyone know that if you're a racist little piece of shit, you're not going to survive on my channel. This set them off, and they started spamming my channel like crazy, insulting other people who went on my channel, throwing a whole lot of stupid comments, and then even putting negative marks on anyone who happened to have agreed with my video. So they now all show up as spam. If you look at that little video that I used to have on my channel as the feature one, they marked them all as spam, even though all they were doing was agreeing that racists were idiots. Anybody going on there would think that those are the idiots. That's how far these assholes went. They, by the way, are the main reason why now you have to be a friend to comment on my channel. If you're not a friend, I have to approve you. And here's where things get funny. Apparently, that really pissed them off, because then, for at least 2 weeks, I got non-stop comments from these assholes talking about how, oh, that's a bitch move, and I'm a pussy for that, and you know, and all that type of stuff. But apparently they were too stupid to realize that the only person they were talking to was me. They were addressing their statements to everyone else, but I'm the only one reading this. And I think it's just funny that all I have to do is hit delete and they don't exist on my channel, which is what set them off. They no longer had a forum or a soundboard to spew their bullshit. And they would have to ask me permission to do it. I think that's what really cheesed them off the most. And by the way, if they're watching, I want to say this once again. If you put up sock puppet accounts, say a stupid line, and then close the account before I can find out where you are, that's not meaning that you've won. It means you're a fucking coward with no balls who can't face me with your bullshit. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you won. I won because you can't say shit on my channel without my permission. So all that noise you made just simply made sure that you don't have a soundboard any longer on my channel. A lot of other idiots can. You can't. And now you're in the Hall of Shame. Happy now? So, yeah. Those are the 4 idiots. Wolf Rodham, Dr. Steelhammer, Muning 444, and Little Lulu. The last 3 all being related. There's an argument going on right now whether Dr. Steelhammer and Little Lulu and Muning 444 are all the same people. Maybe, maybe not. I don't care. All I know is that all 3 of their names are going to be on the freaking Hall of Shame just for the hell of it, and any of their sock accounts that show up. So, yeah. We're done. I can now move on to something a lot more important. We'll go back onto the Enlightenment vids after this. So, catch you guys later.